Hey everyone, Stalky Boy here. This is easily my most asked question I get on my stream. I figured I would make a video on it to point people towards this when I do get asked. Saves me a lot of time since Evil Dead is quite the mouthful to explain to people. So what is Evil Dead the game? Evil Dead, like Dead by Daylight, is a 4 vs 1 asymmetrical video game. One person controlling the Kandarian demon and 4 controlling survivors. To answer the question of is this PvP, PvE, or a single player experience, it is all of the above. There are options to go up against an AI demon with friends or just play with AI against AI. There are single player missions based off of the scenarios from the show and the movies. Not quite a full out campaign though. If you're familiar with the Friday the 13th single-player challenges, it's sort of similar to that. When it is PvP, there are still AI units the demon player can spawn, so there's always a PvE element to whatever you decide to go with. Now onto the main gameplay. The survivor gameplay works like so. The main goal is to banish the Kandarian demon back to hell. To get to this point, first you have to find 3 map pages revealing the location of the Kandarian dagger and the lost page of the Necronomicon. If you don't know what these items are, I have another video explaining everything you need to know about the Evil Dead films that I'll have linked in the description. After the pages are collected, you have to go gather the Kandarian dagger and the lost page separately from each other. You enter this sort of horde mode when collecting the items. You have to stay within a blue circle to make progress on gathering the ancient artifacts. The demon can throw out way more enemies than usual when you are collecting these items, resulting in some really tense scenarios. Once you've collected the ancient artifacts, you are now at the final phase of the game. You now have to face the Dark Ones. Think of them as the big bad leaders of all the demon chaos. The player heads over to the Dark Ones and begins battle with them using the ancient artifacts found earlier. If the boss battle is won, there is but one more objective to be finished. The survivors must defend the Necronomicon for 2 minutes. If this is done, the survivors will have their victory. Important to note, throughout the course of the match, survivors are finding better weapons similar to battle royales, and also upgrading their abilities using a sustenance known as Pink F. They can choose to upgrade fear, health, attacks, everything at their disposal really. Depending on what character you are, your priorities and what you upgrade change. The survivors are all very different in this game thanks to a class system. There are leaders, warriors, hunters, and support characters. Leaders give out auras to their team members, encouraging the team to stick together for some buffs, such as extra damage and fear resistance. If your fear gets too high, the demon can possess the player with high fear, making fear resistance very important. If left unchecked, it could result in tons of devastation later. Warriors are simply really good at combat, a little more tanky and dish out more damage. Hunters are good with range and better at finding items. They have pretty low health, but can find the good stuff for the team. And support class characters are good at healing and also keeping fear down. They don't buff survivors like leaders do, but they are much better at healing and bringing fear down. All of these survivors individually also have different skills to make them stand out further. If you'd like to see a survivor breakdown in the future, let me know in the comments, and do subscribe to have a higher chance of seeing that video when it comes out. Now on to the demon side. The main objective is to simply kill the survivors. The demon starts off very weak. To gain power, the demon needs to go around the map, collecting these orbs to level itself up. It can only really set up traps at first, but once you start leveling the demon up, you can begin possessing players and demon units, summon units themselves, and eventually get to play as the boss character for the demon class chosen. A very simple way of thinking about it is you start as an insect, just poking at the survivors, but over time you become a big old bully full-on punching them. There are 3 demon classes to choose from. The Warlord, which offers much tankier units, the Puppeteer, which specializes in possession, and the Necromancer, which is focused on overwhelming the survivors with tons of enemies. With all of that being said, I believe that is it. That is a basic summary of Evil Dead the game. If this was helpful at all, please leave a like. It helps me out a lot. And if you're interested in more Evil Dead content, feel free to subscribe. We'll be covering Evil Dead a lot more on this channel. Please comment on what you'd like to see from Evil Dead, the game, in the future. Thank you all very much for watching, and take care.